How are we doing, guys? ALTV, Leeds versus Aston Villa match preview of the game. Now this is absolutely massive now. This is absolutely huge. I think for a variety of reasons this is a massive game. Look, I think the last two games, nothing more needs to be said really. I apologise, guys, for not getting a Brentford review out. I was at the game on Monday. I was travelling back straight after the game to Leeds. I didn't get back to Leeds till about 1 o'clock. Back up again, 5 o'clock next morning to work. I just didn't get a chance, guys. I do apologise for that. But Joe and Conor absolutely hit the nail on the head with both videos. Make sure you check those out if you haven't already. But for me, the only things I can really add in that Brentford game was I just thought it was absolutely diabolical, to be honest. I can't really defend us at all. Yes, maybe we should have a penalty inside the first 10 minutes. We should have a penalty inside the first 10 minutes. It's an unbelievably poor decision, but we were not good enough. Even if we get that penalty, it can't hide the fact that we weren't good enough. I just thought Brentford, in pretty much almost every department, looked better than us. I think defensively, certainly, they held their shape absolutely brilliantly. Ours was absolutely all over the place. We had three or four people going to one ball, opening up the space. Both the goals we conceded were absolutely diabolical, and it was just an awful, awful performance. I can't think of a chance we created. Everyone's taking the safe option, the safe pass. There's no real energy, there's no real desire to break down Brentford. There was absolutely nothing about us. Absolutely nothing about us. I've got to be honest, there was absolutely nothing about us, and this is easily the lowest I've felt all season. Easily. I can't think of a chance we created. A clear-cut chance. Matthias clicks out the shot straight at the keeper. That's it. That's all I can think of, and we've just got to recover from that now. The second half against Wigan, the 90 minutes against Brentford, completely and utterly unacceptable. No matter where we are on the table, that is not acceptable for the standards of Leeds United. Absolutely 100% not. But we've got a big opportunity now. A big opportunity to really prove our worth again. I've got absolutely no doubt in this team's quality. This team has got real quality. In terms of automatic promotion, look, Sheffield United needs to win one more game. They're playing Ipswich on Saturday. Hopefully Ipswich can do us a favour, and then they've got to go to Stoke. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. If I'm being honest, probably not. And I'm thinking, can we win the two games ourselves? A big ask as well. Big ask beating Aston Villa in the current form they're in. So you have to look at it and think, it's at least 90-95% certain, if not more, that it's going to be a playoff campaign for us. But there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Even though I know as gutting as it is, it looks like we're going to miss out on the top two, there is still a chance for Leeds this season. There's 100%. In one-off games, you can't back against this Marcelo Bielsa team. I know our record in the playoffs is this and that, but you cannot back against Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds. What we can produce in the big games. And I think Aston Villa, as much as they're on a 10-game winning run, I think the way they play, very, very open. I think the game at the start of the season, about December, I think it was, just before Christmas, the 3-2 win at Villa was one of the best games of football I've ever seen of a Leeds team. In terms of entertainment, just both teams absolutely just trying to attack each other. It was absolutely superb to see. Just attacking football. It was absolutely superb football played by both sides, and ultimately we came out on top that day and were absolutely fantastic. And okay, it's a different Aston Villa to what it was then. It's a bit more solid at the back, etc, etc. It's got Jack Grealish in the team, but Aston Villa still play with the same principles. They're very, very much a team who try and play on the front foot. You have to look at the way that Villa set up. It's very, very attack-minded. You've got people like Al Mohammadi, Taylor on wing back, full back even, who like to push forward. Not the best defensively, if in my opinion. I don't think that either of them are particularly good defensively, but they will push forward. People like Tyrone Mings at the back as well. But you look at the midfield three. Now the midfield three is normally 3 out of 4 players. And it's mainly the midfield pivot that changes, the defensive pivot of the team. And it tends to be either Conor Hourihane or Glenn Whelan. The last game they went with Glenn Whelan, last couple of weeks they've gone with Glenn Whelan. I think Glenn Whelan's probably the safer pair of hands in terms of he will stick to his position. I think Conor Hourihane's a bit more attack-minded, but ultimately is more creative than Glenn Whelan. But consistently ahead of them it has been John McGinn and of course that man Jack Grealish, who have formed a really, really good partnership. I think they just suit each other's game absolutely perfectly, and they could cause us a lot of problems. John McGinn I think is a really underrated player. I think Conor's mentioned John McGinn a lot this season, not just on his videos in terms of Villa. He has mentioned John McGinn as being one of the most underrated players in the Championship, and I'll be honest, when I saw Wolves play against him at Villa Park, I didn't really see much from John McGinn, but last couple of times I've seen John McGinn play for Villa, I thought he's been absolutely fantastic. He's got a real good engine. He's a Lewis Cook type of player to me. Really energetic, loves mini bursts from defence to attack, and really is a similar type of player to a Lewis Cook. And he's got good experience as well. He's quite a young player, but he's got plenty of experience. And you look at alongside him, just ahead of him is Jack Grealish, and Jack Grealish, top player. Probably one of the top 5 players in the league. You could even say, well, he's a Premier League player, if I'm being honest. He really has added end product to his game as well. I think 6 goals, 6 assists, and he's hardly played this season comparatively to the rest of the team. He's had injury problems, and you have to look at Villa's form with and without Jack Grealish, something that has been mentioned a lot, and it's clear to see Villa are a different team with Jack Grealish on the side. For me, I think Dean Smith's strength is the way he allows his attacking players to play with freedom. I wouldn't say tactically he's an expert tactically. I think he's a top manager. I do think Dean Smith's a top manager, but I wouldn't say tactically he is the strongest. I don't think he's one who could pick one particular game and understand how to nullify another team's strengths. I think he just literally sets his team out to play in the attack, and to be fair, it works absolutely superbly well for Aston Villa. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying there. I do rate Dean Smith as a manager, but I do think he's very attack-minded, and spaces will be left, particularly if Conor plays ahead of Glenn Whelan, because effectively it's a 3-man midfield that's just pushing forward and trying to get into the box. I mean, their attacking output between those three is absolutely outstanding. I think 7 goals for Conor, 6 for McGinn, 6 for Grealish, and they've not really played every game. Certainly Hurahan and Grealish and McGinn is chipping in with goals as well, so they have got a real threat to the team. And you've got Albert Adoma and Anwar Ghazi on out wide, 2 good players who will take on the fullbacks, and it's going to be an interesting test that for us. And then of course Jonathan Codger through the middle with Tammy Abraham being injured. That is a really good team they've got there. We have to be honest, that is a really good team. It's going to be a good test for us. A lot of people are saying, could this potentially be the playoff final? I think it's far too early to say that. Both of us are going to have tough games if we're in the playoffs. Looks like Villa will probably play West Brom, which is a really tough game. We're playing one of Bristol City, Derby and Middlesbrough, also a really tough game. So it's too early to say that. Potentially it could be. I think the bookies will probably favour that. I've not checked. I really don't want to check until we're absolutely definitely in the playoffs. But and I need to stop kidding myself. Let's be honest, we probably are going into the playoffs, aren't we? Because we just... Oh, man. I just can't believe it. I can't even believe I'm saying this now. We're 2 games to go, and we're already talking about the playoffs. I thought at least we could definitely take it to the last day, but look, it is what it is. I think the frustrating thing is, I even said, during the Wigan game, if we can just get a point here, we still keep it open, we still keep it alive, or if we get to Brentford, we just took a point from one of those 2 games. 1 point out of 2 is still absolutely awful, but it still would have taken it to the last day. It would have guaranteed we could have taken it to the last day. But maybe we might get a favour, but we can't be relying on that now. Let's be honest. Right now, 44 games into the season, we probably don't deserve promotion. If I'm being automatic promotion, I don't feel we deserve it. To be honest, and being honest, I have to be totally honest about that. That's not me saying we haven't been superb. We've been absolutely superb all season, but we just haven't quite had enough to be a top 2 team. I think in time, maybe I don't know, guys. Maybe it'd be a bit harsh there, but I just don't think you can lose 2 games like that in such quick succession and seriously consider yourselves an automatic promotion contender. Maybe that's me being harsh. I don't know. Maybe I am sometimes overcritical, particularly when we play so poorly. But we've got a big opportunity now, a big opportunity to really prove our worth again. We've had disappointments this season. QPR away, Stoke away, Birmingham away. The last 2 games, we have responded well in general. We didn't last 2 games, but Villa are a different kind of team. They're a team that go in and attack us and leave spaces. They're very much a team who, in possession of the ball, it's pretty much 2 centre-backs. The full-backs push high, the wingers push high, the midfielders push high. Spaces will open. So in terms of my team selection, I'm really, sort of debating about this team selection. I'm looking at it and thinking, if Sheffield United win the game against Ipswich, it pretty much confirms their promotion. Does that then really lend an opportunity to maybe rest Pablo or Mateus Click? I think that's our 2 most important players in terms of creativity, something we badly lacked the last 2 games. And I think a big part of that is that they look tired to me. Both players look tired. They don't quite seem to have that same energy. I think both probably had the poorest games in the Leeds shirts against Brentford. I thought Mateus Click was absolutely awful. I've been honest, I love Mateus Click, and it hurts to say that. It hurts to say it about Pablo Hernandez. It actually genuinely does hurt to criticise either player. I think they're 2 absolutely lovely players to watch, but we need them on absolute top 110% for the playoffs. And I think that maybe an opportunity is there to give him a rest. But I don't think, thinking about it with the team selection, I don't think we could forgive ourselves if we started resting players when there's still technically an opportunity to get promoted. Of course, Sheffield United will win their game, but I have no doubt Marcel Bielsa will be putting out what he feels is the strongest team. I think Ipswich, is probably the opportunity to rest players if automatic promotion is gone. So for me, team selection-wise, I'm looking at it like this. Ejan Alioski is out for the season, so we have got to make changes to the back four. For me, I go Kiko Casilla, Luke Ayling, Pontus Jansson, Liam Cooper. I'm going to go Berardi at left back. I think Berra, I just want solid. I want someone who's solid defensively. I don't feel that from Dallas. I don't feel that from Alioski. They're not fullbacks by trade. Berardi is a fullback by trade. He's a right back, but he has performed whenever he's been asked to at left back when he's been asked to. Defensive solidity. When you're playing with against two wingers who really like to take on the fullback, you need defensive solidity. I know maybe going forward you might get more of Dallas, you might get more of Alioski, etc, etc. But for me, I feel that's more important now. I feel defensive solidity is more important, particularly how we defended the last couple of games. In terms of the midfield, Calvin Phillips has to come back in for me. That's something I'm not mentioning about the Brentford review. I think there's no coincidence the last 135 minutes of football we've played, we've been absolutely diabolical without Calvin Phillips. We've lost the defensive shape, we've not been quick enough out of possession, we've not been able to build out the back. I thought probably Brentford was the worst I've seen us try and play out the back. We're caught out of position so many times, we're caught short so many times, awful passes, spraying the ball out of play, spraying the ball to a Brentford player, getting caught on counter-attacks, something Conor's mentioned as well. It was absolutely awful in that point of view. You need Calvin Phillips in that position. When Calvin Phillips is available, he has to play that position. He's the best in the league in that position for me, and he's proven that with how poor we've been the last 1.5 games without him. In terms of wingers, I'm going to go for something controversial here. It will get criticism in the comments, but I'm going to be honest here. I'd go Pablo on the right, and I'm still going to say Jack Clark on the left-hand side. There's a reason for this. Jack Clark is the only player on that left-hand side who I feel is going to take on his fullback. And against Aston Villa, when they're going to push the fullbacks high, they haven't got the strongest fullbacks in the world defensively. I think you need someone like a Jack Clark running that in to create that space. If you don't believe me, look at that 3-2 game in December. The difference in performance when Jack Clark came on. He absolutely terrified Al Mohammadi going forward. I feel Jack Clark's a player who can play in this game. He's took a lot of criticism the last couple of weeks, but for me, he still did more on that pitch when he came on for the last half an hour than Harrison did. At least he was trying to take risks. At least he was trying to take on his fullback. He wasn't doing it well. He was losing the ball a lot. And I'll be honest, he was losing the ball a lot against Brentford, but he still tried to make things happen. He still tried to do something a little bit different to Harrison. I don't want to be too critical of Harrison. Harrison's a young player, but for me, Jack Clark is more ready-made. For me, he's just a bit more of an inverted winger, so he can cut in and it's a bit more of a goal threat. That's just my opinion on that, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. But for me, I do want to see a change on the left-hand side. I want to see more solidity at left back and more bravery on the ball at left wing, and I think that is the option. Berardi left back, Clark left wing. In terms of the centre midfielders, I'm going to be controversial here. I'm really umming and ahhing about it, to be honest. I would start Roberts, but I'm struggling on that other position. I'm looking at Mateusz Klich and I'm thinking he really, really, really needs a rest. He's played every single game this season. We need him on top form for the playoffs. But if we're still in there with a chance, if Sheffield United don't win their game, could we forgive ourselves for dropping our most creative centre midfielder, probably our best centre midfielder, attack-minded centre midfielder? I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't know what to do. Part of me saying start Klich. Other part of me saying start Shackleton, because he's got that little bit. He's not been tested that much this season. He's not been given many opportunities, but he does play without fear, and we do need that at the minute. Another part of me saying start Adam Forshaw, because I didn't think Adam Forshaw was that bad on Monday, but I do feel he's better further up the pitch. I do think it gives us that more solidity. We have to match the energy levels of McGinn. We have to match the energy levels of Hourihane, Whelan, Grealish. We have to think about that, and maybe that does lend itself to Jamie Shackleton. Guys, I'm really struggling on that one. Who do we play alongside Tyler Roberts? It's a hard one. It's a really hard one, because I absolutely adore Mateusz Klich, but he is off form at the minute, guys. I'm being honest here. You can't say I'm not being honest. I've absolutely sung the praise of Klich all season, and I will continue to do, but he is a little bit out of form at the minute, and he is tired at the minute for me. Maybe we can make a change there, but for me, I think it's a hard one. I probably would still say Klich. It probably will get hammered in the comments, but guys, I probably will give Klich another chance. But I don't know, I keep changing my mind on that one, to be honest. But in terms of striker, I'm very clear in who I want to see in that position. For me, it has to be Kemar Roofe. You know, Kemar Roofe has got criticism, rightly so, for his last 2 performances, but that is being played in the position that doesn't suit him. That 10 role, the high 8 role, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't suit him. When he plays as a centre forward, he's our best centre forward in terms of suiting this system. High pressing, arriving into the box, dangerous positions, you know, making things happen. You know, I think he does suit that position. He is off form, but for me, I would make that change. I think because Villa plays such a high line, I do think it probably suits Roofe a little bit more than a Bamford. You know, in terms of pace, running in behind, taking up really dangerous positions. I do think that suits Kemar Roofe a little bit more. But guys, that's a team I'd go with. I'm going to wrap it up there. It's a massive test for us. For me, winning this game, we've got to get at them fullbacks. We've got to get at the fullbacks of Villa, and we've got to be really brave on that ball. You know, Calvin Phillips has got to play the centre holding midfield position just to try and nullify the threat of Grealish. If you can, it's a tough ask. There might have to be a bit of tactical fouling. There will have to be tactical fouling. Some of our midfielders might have to take a yellow card if the speed of Grealish, the energy of McGinn, the creative brain of Hourihane, etc. Maybe we'll have to take yellow cards, but we've got to really play wise. You know, we've got to improve on the Wigan and Brentford performances. But I do think that is going to come. Yeah, maybe I've been a bit negative in this video, but I do feel it justified it with the last 2 performances. But guys, I do feel a big performance coming here. I genuinely do feel a big performance coming here. I think the way Villa play, it suits us. But have we got enough to beat them? I don't know. Have we got enough to beat them? It's a massive test, but we've had tests like this before this season, and we've stood up to the task. But we have to respect Villa. They have done immensely well last couple of games. They are the form team in the league. They probably have got the best squad in the league for me. It's a massive test, guys, but it's going to be a good game for me. I do feel it's going to be a good game. Whether we're still in with a chance by the time the game kicks off, I don't know. But we've just got to play without fear now. Just have to play without fear. If it is the playoffs, then so be it. Just play without fear. It's all I'm going to say. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.